Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about BB23, the Sunday episode, and this new background we got to talk about.
Oh. Yes, that. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it.
Please, I would too. And we would also appreciate your support on Patreon.
Ooh, join us.
Look at that link
Hey,
right there.
Come
Join
on
us there.
Fun stuff.
Yes.
Also, check out the merch.
Merch. Always check out the merch.
There's stuff there.
You will find something new every time you go to that website.
There's
I
a
swear
lot.
to you. There's a lot of good stuff.
There's a lot of fun stuff. You guys, hi.
Hello, everybody. We are ready to chat.
We have the Sunday night episode, like you said,
Yep.
and then a little bit of spoilers. The game is
Not much.
definitely slowing down.
It's a little snoozy this week.
We know where it's headed.
We do.
Not
We've
a
known.
lot of surprises.
Mhm.
But that doesn't stop us.
No.
No, we're going to be here no matter
We
what.
are powering through until we get to the cookout being the only people left.
That's right. Yes, Dee. We are like 2 minutes early, 3 minutes early.
Yeah. How about that?
That's
Woo!
right.
Okay, so
Sunday.
beginning of this episode,
Beginning.
Tiffany's thrilled. She's
Tiffany.
just won HOH. She's in the kitchen with Hannah and Azza and Claire, and they are just all so excited to be safe this week,
In the
especially
pantry.
Claire, I think. Oh, yeah, not the kitchen, the storage room, yes.
Yay!
Dancing around.
I think a lot of people were excited. We were also dancing around for Tiffany.
We were.
First HOH, good for her.
Yep.
Sure, we love it. Then we start to get all the tears.
So many tears.
Lots of tears this episode. Well, and, in real life. But Kylan
Yeah.
is what we see first.
He is so sad that he evicted his friend Derek X. I mean, legit, everybody did love him. So, I
Right.
think this is not necessarily crocodile tears. It is a little bit like, come on, you guys, like, relax. But everyone was just expressing kind of the same thing. Like, he is the most genuine person I've ever met.
Yeah.
And I might be in love with him. And, everybody just feels very strongly and positively about Derek X. And they're sad. Kylan is first. You're right.
Yeah, I think most of us are like, whatever, Kylan, move on.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Beth is now crying in the DR
Yeah.
because of
Different reason.
Derek X's speech.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fun fact, Sarah Beth did not hear him say, you're playing a Nicole F game.
Oh.
She heard him say, playing a cold AF game.
Aha.
Cold AF game.
Aha.
And I was listening in this DR session because she's sobbing. She never says exactly what she heard. So I don't know if this was before she found out or after. Is she crying because he said cold?
Yeah.
Or is she crying because he said Nicole? It was hours later when Kylan just was like, but wasn't that nice that he compared you to such a winner?
Yeah.
One of the greats.
Yeah.
And she was like, what? He called me cold. And that's when she found out what he really said.
Well, I guess we'll never know what she's crying about in the DR.
In the DR, I think she's crying about him saying she's cold.
Yeah. But she's also saying, I really wish, someone from the monarchy had won HOH this week. And then they show us that little clip of that alliance forming, just letting us, the casual viewers know that alliance is a thing. And then...
It's a thing?
It's a thing? Question mark? Yeah, I know. Sarah Beth wishes it was a thing.
Yeah.
And then Xavier, I love, in the diary room is like, ooh, yikes, this week. Psych, I'm fine. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care that I'm a nominee.
This was great. He was like, I'm on the block. Yeah, no, actually, I'm fine. I am sitting pretty, honestly, in one of the best places you can be in this whole house.
Yes.
That's really what that meant.
Yeah.
But then we see even more tears now from Hannah.
Oh, Hannah.
She feels guilty, and you know what? That tracks.
She maybe should.
Yeah.
She maybe should, because she really did stab him in the
back. She did. She was like, hey, closest ally.
Yeah.
Let me shove you out the door with my pickaxe.
I was going to say, it is like an axe in the back, not like a knife. It's like, I am taking you down kind of thing.
Yeah. And as he went out the door, he was like, as long as you guys take care of my girl Hannah. And she's like, oh my God.
Yeah. She's expressing it to Tiffany. She's expressing it in the DR. She's like, he would have been my number one like, that's the thing about this cookout. Like, they don't.
Yeah.
It's just the
They
cause,
would have
guys.
played
Like, they would have played totally different
totally
games.
different.
Yeah. But it's working. I mean, this is kind of an example of like when you can work with people who you don't necessarily get along with, but you're all helping each other.
Really
you
helps
know.
to hide it when
Yeah.
you really just don't actually get along.
Amen. Yeah.
That helps. But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, deep down, I wish that all of the people of color were included in the cookout.
Me too.
Or I should call it the
A version of
majority
the cookout. Yeah.
alliance
Mhm.
would also include Derek X and Alyssa.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to, say it that way,
Yeah.
that's how I wish it had worked out. But that is not what worked out this season.
Nope.
So
That's right.
Derek X, bye-bye.
And
You're
Tiffany's like, Hannah, I get it. Like, it's tough. We're all going through this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go through it with Claire.
Yeah.
Xavier's going to go through it with Alyssa, but we unselfishly chose each other. Like,
Right.
don't forget, So she's just trying to comfort her.
The
there.
Derek and Ozza already had to go through it for Brittany.
Mhm.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And they're human. And it's nice to see that they're human, that they can play a game,
Yeah.
cut these people out of the game, but also have feelings and care about them. I mean,
That's right.
that's nice to see.
That's right.
Mhm.
Now, two people who don't particularly care about each other are Tiffany and Derek F. But they are still working together. But I love these conversations, and this one especially, where she's like, I just need you to trust me this week and do whatever I say.
She's just like
This week.
messing with him.
Yes.
I mean, I think on one hand, she is like, can you please just do what I say this week? It's my
Mhm.
HOH.
Yeah.
But he's like assuming he's going to be used as a pawn, and she's not correcting it.
No.
She's just like,
just smirking.
and she just like lets him leave the room, being
Mhm.
like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going up.
Yeah. And he's very
And
much like,
she was not going to.
I know you want me to trust you, Tiffany, but I do not trust you at all. I think she knows that.
Yeah.
And, those two are going to come after each other when
Yeah.
it comes down to it.
Yeah. Angelica, no, I do not think the non-cookout members know about it and are just afraid. I am watching them make moves that wouldn't make sense if they deep down knew about it. I
Like
think
Claire's move that
yeah,
we'll get
that
to
we're about to talk
this week.
about.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They would make different game moves if they deep down knew about it.
Yep.
And they're just not doing it. So
That's right.
Tiffany and Sarah Beth are going to have a little talk here, a little one-on-one.
Because Sarah Beth is she does some thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought about our talk, and no, this is later even. This talk is just
this
about.
is the first one.
This is the first one where she's like, Tiffany's like, you really hurt my game by sending home Derek X.
You did.
And Sarah Beth's like, I
Who,
did?
me?
I had no idea.
This is news.
I had no idea.
So basically what Sarah Beth's getting from this is I might be in trouble.
Which is what Tiffany is trying to communicate.
Slightly. Yeah. I thought that this one-on-one was really good in real time. I thought Tiffany did a great job of just being like, I don't know, you and Kylan are a strong duo.
Mhm.
X and Alyssa are a strong duo. You took out Derek.
Yeah.
He was not coming for me.
Mhm.
I was working with him.
Yeah.
And when Sarah Beth said things like, oh, but I wanted to work with you and Claire, like jackpots, remember that alliance? Tiff was like, you put Claire, like I hear you.
Mhm.
But you put Claire up
Yeah.
last week.
Mhm.
Oh.
So that argument doesn't really work if you
Yeah.
want to try another one.
But it was all just like nice and polite. And so
Mhm.
you're like, you can't argue with that. You're like, oops, I did.
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
put Claire up.
I did do that. I did do that. Yes.
Mm.
So Sarah Beth is kind of like, sorry, I didn't realize. But
Yeah.
that's like kind of the end of that conversation. Then we get Tiffany's HOH room, which is really sweet. We get that letter from Grandma Pat and
Mama Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's like,
And I get to see the pictures of her son.
yeah, it's really sweet. I think
it is.
Tiffany is one. I mean, she's not as beloved as probably a Derek X, but I think people are kind of like she just has like kind of a mom energy, and I feel like a lot of people respect her and like her a lot.
Are you talking about in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think so. I think that even though she has rubbed a couple people the wrong way, I think they all really do enjoy her But I feel like edit-wise for us, what
Mm.
CBS is doing for us, I feel like they're doing a bit of a course correct, right? Like they set us with the Tiffany mastermind edit.
Yeah.
And then they were like, whoop, Tiffany's also
Wild card.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
These are some things
She's
she
gonna
said.
go off on
and
people.
yeah. And now they're like, hey, but remember how smart and strategic Tiffany is?
Right.
Don't you just love this HOH room?
Yeah. No, because they're not always
Yeah.
like dedicating this much time to HOH rooms.
No.
And there was nothing especially special about this, HOH room presentation.
Other than the fact that they lost their minds over Beyonce.
That was really funny. They're
These
like,
people-
she got eliminated by Beyonce.
Like, have we ever seen Derek move so fast? Big D was bouncing up and down.
I know, it was so good.
Put that as a comp. And
Truly.
he might actually win it.
Yeah. But here's where we get the follow-up conversation with Sarah Beth.
Sarah Beth's like, let me circle back.
She's like, I did some thinking.
Yeah.
And actually, Alyssa's a liar. She's a snake. And I don't know how she did it, but she tried to kill Grandma Pat, Tiffany. So you got to watch out for Alyssa, okay? Like, she is saying anything she can to get Tiffany to target Alyssa.
Oh, she was like, I will never work with her.
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry about the fact that we're in this monarchy together. That's not a thing.
Mhm.
She
No.
actually in real life threw X under the bus as well. She was just
Mhm.
making sure to like
Cover the bases.
cover the bases.
Yeah.
X and Alyssa can't trust them.
No.
And I have no loyalty to them, so don't
None.
even worry about that.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's not going to work. Tiffany is dead set.
Yeah. They show us in the edit, the soundbite in the bathroom where she's like, ooh, Sarah Beth went for it. And Alyssa might actually be dead right now.
Yeah,
The way
yeah.
she drove over her with that bus, but she has me second guessing myself.
It's like, yeah, she was like, "Am I what?"
Yeah.
No, she threw everyone up under that bus.
Yes.
For sure. But her noms are going to be what
That's right.
we assumed they were going to be.
That's right.
Obviously, Xavier's going to be the third nominee,
Right.
and she happily, in her HOH robe,
Yeah.
is going to nominate Sarah Beth
Yeah.
and Kylan.
She does have a private conversation with Sarah Beth afterwards
Mhm.
where she's like, you're not the target. It's Kylan. La, 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 la. And Sarah Beth's like, she just said it to me. So I don't know if I believe her, but it's something. We'll see. But she's a little suspicious that, it's just lip service, which it is. So.
You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Now we're gonna get a high rollers room, our last one.
Coin of Destiny.
Destiny.
Did we know that you couldn't play in the next HOH before last
No,
night?
we didn't know.
That was new
Well,
information.
We were picking that up over the weekend on the feed,
Sure.
but we did not know before Friday when
Yeah.
they entered the high rollers room
Right.
what these little rules are. And interesting enough, this person doesn't get to play, but Tiffany does.
Right. Yeah, because they dethroned her. So it's like a null and void HOH, and she is now eligible.
I
to
don't
play in
like
the next
this.
comp. Oh, okay.
When Spicy V just did, similarly, we had the secret HOH for BB Can.
Yeah.
And it's anonymous.
Uh-huh.
No one knows who it is. So everyone gets to play again for the next HOH.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because then eventually it will be revealed. It's not an anonymous HOH. Like, they're going to know that Claire's not eligible in the next HOH comp.
No, they're making her play and throw it.
What?
Right?
That's dumb.
It's so dumb. And I mean, the people that know that Claire is talking to, she's like, I don't have the details on how this is going to work.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm supposed to not win. Like, that's on me.
Huh.
And I don't like any of that.
If
So
it's a
just
comp
let her
like the
play.
slip and slide thing, she
Right.
can throw that easily. But like, we'll see how easy it is for her to throw something.
Or if it's an individual thing
Mm-hmm.
where no one else is there
Sure.
and they just don't even let her actually play.
Oh yeah, she could just max out time or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
Yeah.
If this is an anonymous thing, let her play next week. That's where I have
Mhm.
issues.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But they're gonna come in one at a time. Oz is gonna get $50 votes from us, $50 in the envelope. She can't play. She's
No.
very unhappy that we
Yeah.
have not given her more than $50.
Yeah, she's like,
in her
thanks a
votes.
lot. America.
I'm not happy about that. Xavier gets 75 again on the votes, plus his 50 in the envelope.
Not enough. Not enough.
Alyssa gets $75 again for the second week, and $100 in the envelope, but she still can't play.
Still can't play. And then this is where we get the strategy talks in the midst of all of the, people revealing their envelopes and what America gave them and whatnot. And this I really enjoyed from Hannah and her going to Tiffany and saying, I want Claire to be able to play next week.
Yeah. Well, this helps the cookout. We only want the cookout to play for HOH.
Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we want Claire to play for the Coin of Destiny.
Yeah. Perfect.
And I don't want to play as Hannah. Because I don't want to win because I want to play for HOH next week. So we got to figure out a way to get Claire to play and win, right?
So smart. Well, guess what? Claire's more than happy. To win the Coin of Destiny or play the Coin of Destiny for her best pal Tiffany.
Yeah.
More than happy to do it.
And Hannah's up there in the HOH room like, I guarantee you got to think about this the way America watches the show. I guarantee you America is sending Sarah Beth 100 BB bucks. She is a threat. She's going to be able to play.
She's going to be in danger. We want her to
we all need to play. We all need to play and beat her. And Claire's like, I'm going to play no matter what because Tiffany, I can't have anybody, messing with your HOH. And Tiffany, dead in the eyes. But that means you wouldn't be able to play HOH next week. Like almost upset that Claire would suggest that. And Claire's like, I don't care. I am loyal to you, and I will not have your HOH messed with.
This is why no one knows about the cookout. People are like, it's so obvious. No, it is not. When your best ally is like, are you sure?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to play. Oh my God, protect you at all costs.
Yeah.
They believe it because they've worked with this person for some 50 days now. And they just can't believe anything outside of that. This is why it's so good. So here we go. Okay. So Hannah's going to get $100 from our votes. This is an up week for her. Plus $50 in the envelope, but
$300.
She don't need to play.
Doesn't need it.
We just got that strategy talk. Kylan's only going to get $50 from the votes. Not surprised. But $100 in the envelope. Still can't play.
Still can't play.
Tiffany's going to get $100 from the votes.
Great.
This is a double step up. For her. Plus $50 in the envelope.
She can't play. Gotten that 100, she could have played,
but she probably would not have anyway. Sarah Beth only gets $50 from us. I don't know. Think about when you're sitting in a DR room and you say, America can wipe our butts with our BB bucks. Think about that because you might need them.
You might.
But she didn't get them.
No, she does not have enough. And then right before Derek F chooses, learns what he's won, we get a quick conversation where Tiffany's like, Derek F, I don't want you to play it because we need you to be eligible next week to play the HOH. Like the cookout needs you. And he's like, okay, I feel you. And he's like, I'm playing. I have $425.
Oh my God, he has so much. He has so much. This was really funny because, that is how he thinks. He's like, I have to win.
Yeah.
I have to carry the cookouts on my shoulders.
Which he's been doing all season.
Yes.
As we know.
And he really thought this coin was going to be his thing. But turns out it's more important he win HOH next week for the cookout.
Yeah.
So he does a great job of throwing.
He does.
This.
He's like,
this is hilarious.
I mean, it's the first time we're seeing the comp played. So, they do the full explainer where you've got to roll the coins into the slots. And he's just one at a time.
First, him just going over to get his stack at the base.
He's like,
all right, let me just grab a few of these, get going. And you're like, oh, okay.
He's testing them. He's like, oh, it feels like real gold. Wow.
And he's aiming to the corner. And I honestly, at this point, again, it's the first time we're seeing this game, but I think it's easier than it is. And I was like, he could just slowly roll them. He doesn't have to aim.
You
for
could
the
also
corners.
Just toss them. You don't have to roll them at all. Play it however you want.
Yeah.
You know.
But I thought get more than one. He only gets one.
I know. Which you thought, like, because he's like, that feels like a great score to me.
Yeah.
Because that's obvious that I'm not throwing it. I'm like, is it obvious that you're not throwing it? I don't know. We'll see.
But then we get Claire. She gets $100 from us.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go.
Way to go, America.
Plus $50. And so she is, of course, going to play. And she's trying her darndest. She
oh,
is
my
like,
God. Boom, boom,
fly, fly,
boom,
fly.
Boom, boom.
And getting none. And I was like, oh, this is
hard.
harder than it looks.
Yeah. She eventually gets 3. I mean, she's got the right strategy.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game, just like quantity. She's right. Quantity over quality. So just keep firing them down and she gets 3 through. I mean, if, anybody else had played, who knows? But, it was enough to beat Derek F. Ultimately.
Yes. Oh, my God. Fortunately, it was just the 2 of them. So, yeah. So she is going to have 3. She is going to be the winner. And then we go into the ceremony. The
Which
coin of justice. I mean, hello. What was this? So good. Tiffany's are rolling out some sort of contraption that looks like from the Tower of London. I was like,
is someone getting beheaded?
Yes.
Like, what?
I was like, what is this torture device she's rolling out?
Yeah. And then it's like the great voiceover that's like kind of it's like a, play on Siri almost. It's very robotic. And I love when they're like, there was a winner with 3 points. And Claire's like, I won with 3? That was me. She can't believe it.
Like, that's okay. And all of them are trying to have straight faces around the table, which I love. When they get to, she's like, the winner anonymously said heads. And Tiffany's like, this is the head. This is the tail. She puts it in the thing.
Oh my God.
And this edit.
Slow-mo.
She puts
and it really is flipping end over end. And the house guests are like, watching the thing arc through the air and fall on the ground. And
they're being so like, oh, what's going to happen? Oh my God, it was so good.
It was so good. And then it lands on heads.
And then it's heads.
Tiffany's been dethroned. And so I love Tiffany. She goes, I've been dethroned.
And then people had to just still fake their faces. Like they're like, what an interesting thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Like Kylan's faces were the greatest. He was like, oh.
I know. Yeah. He was like craning his neck to see how it landed. So then the robot announcer explains that Tiffany is still safe this week, but she gets a vote in the eviction and she is eligible to play in the next HOH. Then everyone's like,
here's my before we go further, here's my conspiracy theory.
Oh.
Because we have the voiceover, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what the house guests are actually hearing. So when Tiffany's showing heads and tails, I don't think the voiceover said the person anonymously said heads.
Oh.
I think she just goes ahead and flips it. It lands on heads. Then the voice that they heard said, yes, the coin of destiny is now in play. And it wasn't going to matter. Because I've been waiting this whole time for how is production going to let this flop? They can't let this flop.
Right.
It has to be used no matter what, right?
So you think that Claire didn't actually pick heads?
No, I think Claire, right, because Claire would be able to back this up. Yes, but, okay, wait, she doesn't know the coin, though. It's not a real coin.
Okay.
So she said heads.
Oh, but heads could have been either.
Could have been the BB sign.
There was no head. Yeah.
Or a crown sign. There's no head.
Got it.
Although a crown does go on a head, I can buy that one. But it doesn't matter. BB could have still been a head. Right, guys?
True. Okay.
So if they don't actually know, and then they just say, oh, it landed on the crown. That's the head.
Yeah.
That's the head of the coin.
Yeah, they could have, the voiceover that the house guest heard could have said, one side is a crown and one side is a BB.
Yes.
And the house guest who anonymously selected one
of the sides.
And then it lands and they're like, yeah, it was the crown. We promise.
It was that one. This is the one that they said.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my theory on how they were going to always make it
I still do feel like Claire would have been like, I chose BB and it landed on the crown.
But she had to say heads or tails.
Okay.
And they didn't tell her which one was heads or tails.
Okay. All right.
Just possible. Just
Yeah,
possible.
it's possible.
That's my
I like a
conspiracy.
conspiracy theory. I do. So then what's great is Sarah Beth and Kylan come off the block, right? Question marks go up. Xavier's still up there as the third nominee. Who are the new nominees going to be, right? Who won this competition? And it's literally Kylan, and they're like laughing at the pronunciation, and Sarah Beth. And it's just the same. It's so great. And Sarah Beth's face is just like,
I wanted more from Sarah. Like, I wanted more when their face is wiped off.
yeah.
I wanted them to be like,
Thank goodness.
we're no longer nominated.
Right.
It was as if they knew they were going to still be nominated.
It kind of felt that way, yeah.
Which odds are high that they were still going to be nominated.
Yeah.
We said that on our last video.
Yeah. I feel like as soon as they definitely knew that neither of them won it. So they were probably like, we're doomed. Like, whoever won, it's not us. So
Claire, way to go.
Us? Yeah.
Same noms.
Good job.
Oh
boy. Yeah.
Here we
This
are.
is the move that almost proves that she has no idea that the cookout is a thing, right?
Exactly.
Because she's going along with the cookout's
If
plan.
deep down she knew about the cookout and just didn't want to say it,
Mm-hmm.
she would have put 3
That's
members
That's right.
up
That's right.
and said, let me watch them like scramble and figure this out.
Uh-huh.
But she didn't.
Yeah.
She's so devoted to Tiffany. She can't imagine Tiffany working with anyone outside of her.
Yeah.
That she is wanting to follow through and give Tiffany the Sarah Beth eviction that she wants so badly.
That she wants. So I think the cookout is still a secret. So Kylan and Sarah Beth are our final nominees for
The
this
rest of the
episode.
week.
Yes.
Oh,
So-
never mind. I mean, for this episode.
Yes, for this episode. So should we get into spoilers
Okay, good.
now?
'Cause I just messed it up. All right.
Okay. Ready?
Spoilers.
Okay, so Sarah Beth and Kylan are still on the block
They're the-
because it was Tiffany did not get a guaranteed spot in the veto this week because she has been dethroned as
Yeah.
the HOH. So
She moved out of the HOH room. They lost Beyonce.
oh,
They have
that's so rude.
no HOH perks. She moved out. She had
Oh.
one night in the HOH room.
Poor
She,
girl.
yeah, it kind of does stink. But at least she got the important stuff.
Yeah, right. But she's not guaranteed to play, so they just pick, it's Xavier, Sarah Beth, and Kylan, and they pick 3 additional players. Claire happens to be one of them, and Alyssa and Hannah. So those are the veto players. Hannah wins veto. Good for Hannah. Winning
Hannah!
comps. We love to see
Way
it.
to go. We do. We love to see it. It's about time.
Yeah, I know. And she heard some campaigns this week before her veto selection went down, specifically from Kylan.
Look, you don't even know who the HOH is.
hard.
I mean, she does. But in general, you think there ain't going to be much campaigning this week
Mhm.
because what's the plan? And the majority of the house is the cookout, and they know the plan.
know the plan.
But Kylan thought he should be taken down. And he had his epic long one-on-ones with every single member of the
He's such a
cookout.
talker. He is such a talker.
Also Claire, because he has a good idea that she might be the HOH.
Mhm. Mhm.
You guys, seriously, he spent so much time and effort trying to get himself taken off. It was mind-boggling. It blew the mind. What are
And
you
it's
doing,
like, what are you
sir?
doing? You don't have to play this hard. You're safe. The cookout's not sending you home. Part of the campaign was, please pull me off the block so I can give Sarah Beth a sympathy vote.
Oh.
And it's like, nobody wants to do that.
No, the genius of the setup where you sit next to your +1
Yeah.
is so that you're not in that situation.
That's
you
right.
don't have to vote at
You're not
all.
responsible.
You are stuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're on the block next to them. What can you do?
Yeah.
And he had the audacity
I know.
to be like, I should come down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Think
I
about
was
it.
so grateful that no one entertained. No one entertained this.
Yeah.
They were like, what?
What are you talking
Xavier
about?
was he's legitimately so mad at Kyland still. And this is days later.
Yeah.
Like, he's so mad at Kyland. And he was like, dude, no, you're not making sense. What are you talking about? And then, you know, like, Kyland finds out that Hannah wants to take Xavier down. And ultimately, that is what she does. She takes Xavier down. This is sort of Hannah's way of, like, extending to Alyssa in case Alyssa's the last non-cookout member standing, of being like, you and X, I'm good with y'all.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. Don't take me out. Like, that's her thinking there.
Yeah.
I don't think it was necessary to do it, but that's just her sort of covering her bases. But boy, Kyland could not handle the fact that Xavier was going to come off the block and not him. He worked so hard.
It's so needless. Like, he did not need to do all of this. I mean,
not only did he not need it, but, like, I think this is a detriment to his game.
I was just about to say, I mean, yes, but I don't think it's really changing the way anybody really feels. Like, people were already annoyed with Kyland, and they were aware that he's, like, playing a weird game, and, you know, it's too much. Like, he's just too much a lot. And so this is just kind of like another thing where it's like, yeah, Kyland being Kyland, you know. So I don't know that it, like, necessarily puts a fresh target on the back, as so much as just, like, strengthening the one that's already there.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just like you could have repaired your standing in the 6.
Yeah.
And instead you were, like,
doubling
down on, like, I should be the first to go of the 6. Like, is what he's, like, waving a flag that says that.
Please, me. Evict me when we get to 6.
I mean, honestly, there were moments when Xavier was like, screw it. We'll take him out before.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to 6. And, like,
which is shocking because Xavier is the one who is keeping the cookout together.
Exactly. He's so level-headed, so calm, and, like, I don't think they're actually going to do it. But the fact that he's even just throwing that out there, you're like, whoa, not necessary, Kyland.
Yeah. But it, you know, it's all in vain. Hannah takes Xavier down, and there's of course no renom for that because he's the extra nominee. So it is just Sarah Beth and Kyland on the block at this point, and Sarah Beth's gonna go.
Kyland, they're gonna go. Sarah Beth doesn't fully know what's happening. Obviously, Kyland does. But she kind of thinks he's the target, but she's also very worried that she's going to go. She just took Derek X out. So, you know, she's very worried and not feeling great. And he just is so bummed that he's on the block sitting next to her. I do legitimately think that he wanted to be taken off the block and have Alyssa go up so that he could flip this vote. And get Alyssa out. I legitimately do think that that's what he was trying to do. We've seen him try to protect Sarah Beth a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And he wants to keep her as long as he can. I don't know if he'd go past 6, but he wants to at least sort of test those boundaries.
Yeah.
But some of the people that he campaigned to were like, no, Alyssa's not going to go up because Sarah Beth's the target. So big deal, just go up or something like that.
Right.
And Kyland still was like,
I think that Kyland is doing what I think some of the others are probably doing, and they should be doing what I think Tiffany should have been doing with regards to Derek X, is they're trying to hold on to that ally. So that ally can take a shot for them so that they don't have to take the shot at the cookout. So I think potentially Kyland was like, I'm going to keep Sarah Beth around so that she can take somebody out for me when we get down to 7, right? If she's still around at 7. And I hear that is maybe why Aza wants to keep Claire around, to take a shot at Xavier.
Well, Xavier, that's very specific, but she is leaning towards keeping Claire over Alyssa because she feels closer to Claire. Claire will take a target at the guys. Claire has, you know, been clear that she would love to have X and Kyland up on the block together. And that would help the ladies of the cookout if they kept Claire the longest. Then today, now that's just what the females want, right? The men would like to keep Alyssa the longest because Alyssa would take a shot at the females, they think. That's why Tiffany and Hannah both have worked pretty hard on Alyssa this week to get in her good graces. Because that scenario is quickly approaching. But today, we didn't get this full conversation on the feeds. They just cut in at the end of it. But apparently, Alyssa brought up in front of Xavier and Claire that Claire is the last white person after Sarah Beth goes. After Sarah Beth goes, Claire is the last white person in the house.
Xavier brought this up?
No, Alyssa brought this up.
Oh, okay.
But Xavier was there. And then after the conversation sort of died down, we just got the last end where they were kind of laughing like, oh, imagine.
Yeah. So random. How did that happen?
What? But Xavier went into the bathroom and was like, are you kidding me? Why would she do this? Why would she say that to Claire? Apparently she said, you're on an island. That's what he was venting back to the cameras. He was like, why would you tell her she's on an island all by herself as the last white person? Like, why would you say this? Oh, no, you were about to be Final 7, and now you're probably going to have to go next week. So he's internally freaking out that who he wants to keep as long as possible might have just, like, damaged her own game from the cookout standpoint.
Yeah.
And he did vent about this quite a bit today to Ozza, to Big D. So, like, it is getting around, which I was like, I think you should zip it.
Yeah,
but,
don't tell anybody.
Okay. So I don't know if that's going to change, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Claire and Alyssa are the only two they're going to go after next week.
Yeah.
If one of them, Claire can't win HOH. So Alyssa's the only one that could win HOH and put a wrench in this. If one of them were to win veto, you'd hope that you could have the next one up and available. But for the most part, it's probably going to be one of them out next week.
Yeah. So, especially because Claire's not going to win HOH. So this is the only hope to, have safety.
Yeah.
But there could still be Claire going home if Alyssa's HOH, Now, if it's a member of the cookout that wins HOH, do you think that they would put up Alyssa and Claire next to each other and abandon this plan of if Alyssa goes up, then Xavier goes up next to her?
I don't think so. There's been that talk. Ideally, they still go up next to their +1. Some of the talk is if you put Claire and Alyssa on the block together, then it's so obvious.
Yeah, right.
Oh, look who's sitting here and look who's on the block. I don't know if that's that important. Like, are you really trying to keep it a secret?
At that point,
at this point. But if you put Claire up, you might as well put Tiffany up and still play that role. You have the numbers, no big deal. But
I could see the partners, I could see Xavier and Tiffany pushing back on that next week on going up because they are both smart enough to realize, y'all might actually screw me.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point where we're close enough where you might be willing to let a member of the cookout go early. And I don't want to be that one. So we might see some pushback on that.
Yeah, you might. Something they didn't show in the episode, I talked about it on Friday's stream, was Tiffany circled back with Alyssa and gave her a second one-on-one of saying, I don't want you to be a target. I don't even want you to be a pawn. You're not going to see the block at all. I only ask of you, she said, because I feel like Tiffany, me and Claire, this is Tiffany speaking, me and Claire are a duo on people's radars. She's like, so I feel like we might go up next week. And if we do, I only ask that you vote to keep me.
Interesting.
And I was like, girl, that's so smart.
That's a good plan.
Because she knows she probably is going up next to Claire next week.
Yeah.
And then Alyssa doesn't have to question, which one are we keeping? She already made the promise to Tiffany. And
Tiffany's so good.
There we go. So I think you're right. Pushback wouldn't be weird to see that. But I think Tiffany is setting herself up pretty well.
Yeah.
That she can sit next to Claire and she's okay.
Yeah. So smart.
Yeah. And then if Claire happens to win veto, Alyssa is going to go up. Or, if Tiffany wins veto, Alyssa goes up and then they can take their choice.
Yeah. What could be interesting is if Alyssa wins HOH and puts Tiffany and Claire up, Claire wins veto, then...
that would be interesting. That's worst case scenario for the cookout for sure. Then they have to cannibalize. And at this point, I think it'll be Kyland.
Yeah.
going up.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. But that is a big if.
That is a huge,
because most likely Claire or Alyssa is going home next week.
Odds are high. Yeah, for sure.
We shall see, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little slower because of that stuff.
It is, yeah.
There's not going to be any vote stuff happening this week. You know, there's even they can be so mad at Kylan, they're not going to flip on him this week. So it'll be Sarah Beth.
Yeah, it will be.
That's that about that.
That's that. Yes, exactly. And we still have a couple weeks before this mystery 2-hour episode. So a couple weeks before big drama.
The 16th is this 2-hour episode that everyone is assuming is a triple. Like we have talked about, it could also be that fake double where someone comes back, like Canada just did.
Yeah.
But then what I just realized today is that there's now an extra episode that Friday. So the 16th is a Thursday, 2 hours, and then that Friday there is a show.
Huh.
But there's not one on that Sunday, so that might just be
interesting.
What we would see on Sunday, because the Emmys are that Sunday.
Okay. That's a quick turnaround, though.
Yeah.
From Thursday to Friday. They have a live eviction on Thursday, and then they have a new episode on Friday. That feels like a clip show.
It does. Sure does.
Yeah.
Or like they get a carnival concert party thing that they've done in the past. That's like a special episode.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what we know, though, that is different with the broadcasting that's happening.
Yes.
So.
All right. Well, sorry to all you Sarah Beth fans out there. Sorry, anybody?
Was there somebody?
I didn't hear anything.
Look, I was so supportive of Sarah Beth in the beginning. I love her name.
Yeah.
I thought she had potential, and then she did not play well, and I got a little annoyed at her HOH. That was really bad, and she got outplayed by Kylan, and I honestly think, I tweeted this out today, I think she's going to have the hardest time. Once the jury finds out about the cookout, I think DX is going to be like, I got outplayed. Yeah. Claire is going to be like, got outplayed.
Yeah.
I think Sarah Beth's going to be like, Kylan, you are dead to me.
Yeah.
Don't ever call me. I'm headed back to Florida. I feel like.
That's probably going to be bad. Yeah.
She just got snowed, and it's kind of hard to watch. Like I feel bad.
Yeah.
I honestly feel bad for her because she is playing her own game, and it is just not the same game as everybody else.
Yeah.
But she can go sit in jury with DX and Brittany.
There you go.
Something right
yes.
Everyone in the chat, thank you so much for joining us live. We really appreciate it.
Yes, and if you're joining us later, please leave us a comment and let us know how you're feeling about the Cookout slow march to the final 6 and Sarah Beth's inevitable elimination this week. I also would love to hear your thoughts on the new background.
Oh, you guys, this is what I've been working on. It just took me a really long time, but we flipped the camera around, and here we are.
Look at this. We have colors now behind us and things. Visual interest. So let us know what you think about that and what you're hoping for next week, because this week's a done deal. So
do you care what happens next week? Is that also a done deal?
Yeah.
These are the questions.
All right.
All right. I will be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow we got a new Survivor cast. I'm going to do a little blend of a live feed update because I bet there's not going to be much. I will blend that with a little Survivor cast stuff. So subscribe.
Yes.
Stay tuned for all of that.
All of that stuff. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.